Hello everyone, I'm Prakhar. I'm currently pursuing BTech in Computer Engineering from NIT Kurukshetra, and today we'll be seeing how to create a cluster and a database in MongoDB Atlas. So for that, let's first go into the web page of MongoDB Atlas and then we'll click on sign in. After the page is loaded, we have the options of signing up, and to sign up we will use our NIT domain ID. And as you can see, I've already signed up using the registration process. So next we'll try to log in using the same email address we used during that, and we'll also use the same password that was created during the sign up process. So let's click on login, and after the page is loaded, we can see that we have landed on the dashboard of our MongoDB Atlas, and we have the big button in between of build a database. So let's click on that. And as you can see, before creating a database, we must first create a cluster. So for our use case, we'll use the free one, that is the shared cluster. When we do that, we'll be redirected to the setup wizard, and as you can see, multiple options are already pre-selected for us which are most recommended. So let's go through them one by one. First is the cloud provider and region. As you can see, we have three different providers for us. First is Amazon Web Services, second is Google Cloud, third is Microsoft Azure. Next, we can select the region, and it's recommended to select the region that is most physically closest to you. And from our IP, it has already determined Mumbai, and we'll leave it at that. Next, we have clustered here. The free one is recommended because other premium tiers are paid and not useful in our use case. In additional settings, we can have backup, but that is only available in premium tiers. So we'll leave that. Next, we have cluster name. So let's name that Big Data Lab. And as you can see, the cluster name cannot have any spaces. So we'll remove the spaces and we'll click on the create cluster button. And then we are redirected to the security setup wizard page to access to our database. First, we'll need to set up the admin username and password. So let's just create one using the username admin, and it's recommended to use a secure password and not a weak password. For demo, let's try setting up 123456 as a password, which is pretty weak. So when we try to enter that password and create a user, we'll get an error that, let's see, that password provided is too weak. So you can also click on the auto generate state secure but password, so that it will automatically create a secure one for you, or you can use a more complex one. So after using a more complex one, you can see that user is successfully created. Next is we would like to connect from, and for that we'll use our local environment, which is best suited for suitcase. And we need to enter our IP address from which machine we would like to access that. We also have the button of add my current IP address, which will automatically detect your IP address which you are logged in from, and the description is already added for you. Then we'll click on finish and close and go to databases. In the page, you can see that our cluster is being created, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes for the cluster to be created. You can see the summary of the options you have selected down below. So let's come back when the database is created. As you can see, after the cluster is created and the database, you can see in the console we have various details about it. We have browse collections button, connect, view monitoring. So here we have R and W, which is the number of read and write requests. We also have the connections, and then we also have in and out bandwidth of that. And then we have the data size, and then uh, will first click on uh, collections tab, and as we can see, the collections is being loaded, that is the databases. And we have various options. You can see sample one is already loaded. We have the sample mflix and sample training one. Here we have various tabs of find, indexes, aggregation, search indexes, etc. We'll click on the insert document button to add a new entry to our database. You can add that using a JSON format. We can also delete the entry, copy, duplicate, or edit one. As you can see, this entry has various fields such as ID, name, movie ID, text, date, email, etc. We can also use this to find any entry that we would like to find here. You can see there's details about the actual size, the number of entries, documents in there, and the total size the indexes are taking in our database. We can also create a database using a create database or visualize our data by clicking the button. It will help us in visualizing everything. We also have our tabs for the overview, real time, metrics, and we can also optimize it that using performance advisor. We also have online archive, command line tools, profiler, search, collections, etc. As you can see, you have multiple options available at your disposal. I hope you find this useful. Thank you.